And we're here.
What's up, man?
We're back again. Another episode.
Discussions and conversations, man.
We on deck.
7.
Episode 7. Live on Mondays and Fridays now. Thank y'all for adjusting to that schedule. We like the live feel. Y'all seem to like the live feel, so we gonna do the live feel.
Oh, my phone on do not disturb, man.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and get that out the way now.
Man, we are here. We're live. Today is a different, I ain't gonna say a different feel, but we're coming like we kind of did in our second episode that was?
Yeah, it was the second episode.
Our second episode where we really just break it down, talking about some business practices, things of that nature, pivoting, getting greater, why rebrand, when to rebrand, should you rebrand, can I rebrand, like all of that kind of stuff. So let's do a recap of the weekend first.
Okay.
Let's get that stuff out of the way. The NBA did happen this weekend.
It did. We are now in the semifinals of the playoffs officially on both East and West. We have all teams are set. Golden State, Minnesota, Denver, and OKC. Cleveland and Indiana just played their first game last night, and it was a game. It started off back and forth, but Indiana won one on the road, and as you have quoted before, it ain't a series until you win one on the road.
Until you win one on the road.
Then we got Boston and New York. That's the one. I think that's the semi, but it's being treated like the conference finals.
And realistically, it kind of should be.
Oh yeah.
Had seed and played out how it should have, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It very well could have been conference finals. Like
whoever has to face the winner of the New York and Boston series, I mean, kudos to them, because it's gonna be a knockout series from top to bottom. Them boys gonna fight. And
that's because it has to be a knockout series.
Oh,
I mean, they got to go 7 games. They got that's kind of where they are right now, if that makes sense. Like,
Boston's playing for that back-to-back, and then as we know, Jalen is playing for that I'm the number one guy, you made the right decision.
Yeah, but did they?
Yeah. I mean, looking at what Jalen, because as we acknowledged last episode, New York hadn't been in the playoffs or hadn't even been in the playoff thought, honestly, until Jalen got over there, and that was with just Julius. And then they got rid of Julius, gave him Cat, and then it's like, okay, now I can really perform. So this right here will really set him apart, because if they can get Boston out, then now we're all looking at New York like, y'all got to take the East, right? Because y'all just took out the former or the current champion. So if y'all took them out, then everybody's gonna be looking for them to take the East in its entirety.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, as I always say, I'm with you when you're right. When you're wrong, I'll still be with you, but just tell you in private.
I'm telling you in private when the cameras go off.
So I'm with you, dog.
I mean, but other than that, WNBA preseason has also been going along.
Man, it's been swinging. The girls looking good. They already dropping people.
Yes.
They already releasing some.
Hey.
The girl went out and dropped 15 points in like 9 minutes last night, bro. Got dropped today.
Yep.
I said, golly, bro. It's the money, though.
Yeah.
It's the money.
It's the money.
They can't afford to have a 15 woman roster.
No, I mean, so are we going to see Ice Cube's Big Three start to take more of a role in basketball now with the WNBA, maybe swaying some of those drop players to come over there?
No.
They'll
just go overseas,
make their money over there
now.
Okay. So that contract he offered Caitlyn, that was just a Caitlyn thing. He's not really trying to grab or coerce players from the WNBA.
I think that offer was a lie. But that's another discussion for another.
That's
day.
Another discussion and conversation for another day.
I mean, logistically, it didn't make sense.
No.
Like it really didn't make any logistical sense to say, hey, we're gonna pay you. How much was it? Like
It was like a milli, wasn't it?
way more than that.
It was way more. I thought it was like I thought it
way
was
more than $1 million, bro. It was like 5-10 million
okay.
to play like, and they only play like 8 games.
I was about to say they barely play any game.
They literally play like 8 games, bro. So that was a little stupid to me. I could say that. I don't think that he was very smart. Speaking of Caitlyn, though, do you think this season she'll be able to live up to the quote unquote standard expectation that's been set for her?
I think she has to, because if she don't, then she's going to be proving a lot of people wrong, because a lot of people are looking to her to redefine or bring more identity to the WNBA. So it's like, if you don't do that this season, I don't see her. I think we're going to be like, all right, let's go back to Angel. Let's go back to Reese.
Yeah, but I think the only way they go back to Reese or go to Angel is Angel got to do what she did last year, and Angel really got to sustain that driving force, because Angel went 20 games with 20 points, 20 rebounds or something like that.
She went crazy. And
20 games with a double-double, like.
And the whole time I'm like, well, why are we not talking about that? Like, that's not bringing notoriety to the WNBA. That's not giving the fans.
It was the number 1 pick.
And that goes to show that number 1 pick comes with a lot of weight.
It means something.
That number 1 pick comes with
the number 1 pick.
a lot. Because if you don't live up to an expectation that is set for you, because again, I'm the number 1 pick, so I obviously earned this, right? Mm-hmm. But that's just half the battle when you're the number 1 pick, because now you got to live up to the expectation, the hype, the everything that comes with being that number 1 pick.
So that kind of leads us somewhat semi into where we're going for today's conversation in regards to your reinventing yourself, making yourself new, all of those kind of things. So let's start out with, as somebody that is trying to make themselves new, become something different, where does the this is where I want to be come in regards to, let me break it down, because I know some of y'all kind of like, what is he saying? Mm-hmm. The question really goes to, as a person who is making the decision to say, I want to change, when do you make that decision?
I think you first have to know when you're at the crossroads, right? You have to know when you've gotten to the point of, lack of a better term, no return, right? To the point of no return. So you're looking at it and you're like, well, I only got so many options, or I could just do a 360, and that now opens up a totally different book. You always hear the saying, oh, we're not on the same page, but sometime in life, if you make that change, you done threw the whole book out. Now we on a whole new book. So let's start fresh.
Yeah. Okay. And then once you start fresh, your rebuilding season, what can we say the start of that looks like?
I would say that really varies, right? Because some people rebuilding season is going to be when they've reached the point of their success, and they're like, all right, I've just peaked out here, right? For example, I like to use me. I was at my former job for about 2.5 years. I had got to the point where I felt like I've kind of mastered this job. Like, I'm kind of getting bored. What can I do here? And that's when I went into, let me find a new career. Let me go into focusing on our business, focusing on building my own brand. Let me go that direction. But some people rebuilding might come as like a slap in the face. Like, they've hit rock bottom. They're looking around. They ain't got nobody around them. And now they're like, this might be the start of my rebuild, because I don't have nothing else. So I might as well start over.
Okay, so what are those signs? Because everything has a sign. Like
Yeah, a
everything
telltale
has
sign.
What were some of the signs that you had at the old job that gave you like the inkling to say, I peaked out?
I would say once you lose your drive or motivation for anything, then it might be time to kind of start reevaluating the things around you. Like once I was getting up in the morning and it was like it had really just became a job. Because when I first started working for Walmart, it was like every day was something different. Like I knew I was going to go into something with an associate, with a customer. It was just going to be different. After a while, I felt like, man, I done did everything. The store was here when I first started. I've turned it around here. I've done this. I've done that. So I think it might be time to go ahead and like once I lost that drive, that's when it really tells you like it's time to rebuild. Because how can you do anything if you don't have drive for it? If you're not waking up every morning, setting an expectation within yourself to be better than you were yesterday at that thing that you're doing, then you felt like I've mastered this thing. So if you've mastered it, then what else can you do? You should always be trying to get better. And whatever you're doing in life, it should never be a point to where you're just looking around and you're like, well, I'm making money. I'm cool. Okay, but what else can I learn? Like, what else can I do to better this, quote unquote, I feel good?
True. To counterpoint that, if everybody in life has that drive, how could the world succeed? Because there has to be a food chain or a level or dynamic of which we all operate. So if we all are operating in, I'm stagnant, let me rebrand, like how does that look? Like how, because again, we know that some platforms like this may be for go-getters.
Yeah.
Some platforms may be for people who got that stick-to-itness. Some platforms may be, so for the person that may be watching this that like is complacent in, I'm making money, so what? Like what's something that can like get them to really be like, no, it's time for something new? Because again, if I'm complacent, if I'm happy with where I'm at, with where I am, like, I think for people like us, who I won't say aren't ever happy, but who
are genuinely always in,
who are genuinely like looking for the next, like how it's hard for us to see people, a situation, anything, and say essentially like, I do this different.
Yeah,
I could move that way. I could move that way. I could go this way. I could go that way. I would have turned the wrench half a step tighter, or something like that. But for the person who is, let's say for instance, another photographer, another videographer, another model, another cook, another chef who is already getting bookings, who's already okay, who's already making money, like if they're stagnant in the $50,000 they make a month for their business, or the $15,000 they make, like how do you push them to say, hey man, you can make more?
I think they have to see it. It comes with exposure. It comes with knowing that there's more out there, because sometimes somebody told me this a long time ago, and it was to always keep people around you that's doing better than you, right? So if you're in a situation where you're looking around and you're like, well, I'm good, and everybody around you's like, oh yeah, man, we good, we living, it might be trying to kind of check your circle, because there should be somebody around you that you like, well, I'm here, but I need to get to there, because there's always more money to be made. So you making $15,000 right now, but come here, let me show you somebody that's doing the same thing you doing, but they doing a little something different. They making 50,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes it comes. A lot of things comes from exposure. We had I4 Chapman on here a few weeks ago and talked about that networking. A lot of it comes from sometimes just networking.
Yeah.
That's that exposure to see that, oh, it's a lot more out here than what I'm doing. I'm asleep. And then now you coming home, you a cook. Now you, all right, well, what else can I add to the menu? You a photographer. Well, can I edit differently? You a videographer. Well, let me learn how to utilize sound effects in my, like now you're trying to figure out how to better yourself because you were exposed to that person that's not necessarily doing better than you, but they doing better than you because they making more money than you and they're being able to show you the way.
So I read somewhere that said companies, Targets, Walmarts, the big brands, every about 6 to 9 months, they have this big meeting with the head owners, all of that stuff, head honchos. I'm sorry.
He said the head balls.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. The head honchos and all of that, and they try to like sit to figure out how can we look better. I think if a lot of people take the approach of how can I look better, not just because there's a big, you can look better in different ways.
Yeah.
Not just, your physical appearance, your mental appearance.
Yeah.
Your
emotional appearance, all
appearance,
of that.
like all of these things. So to sit every 6 to 9 months and look at yourself and say, how can I look better, could really form a different outlook on how people see their year, their 5 years, their 10-year, their look on life.
Yeah. By just that quick question of how can we look better?
Because again, all of that, a rebrand isn't necessarily, and this is something that a lot of business owners got to understand as well. A rebrand isn't always getting a whole new logo, changing your color palettes,
new mission statement, and all of that.
That's not always a rebrand. Your rebrand could be just, okay, let's focus on this for the next 6 months. Let's focus on this for the next 3 months. Let's make sure that people understand that this is what we want to do. Let's push that goal for the next some odd. Like, that's also a rebrand. And that's, again, what a lot of people don't understand. So now when you, as a media company or as a freelancer, when you're going to somebody to say, hey, I think you should rebrand, they're instantly thinking, no.
Yeah,
it works for me.
Man, people get so scared, as we know, when you use that word rebrand, because they immediately think of what you said, the logo, I've been doing this and this has been that. So sometimes instead of saying rebrand, let's refresh. And now they like, huh? What that mean? Now you can explain it into what you just said in, well, we can implement this. We can do this. And now they don't realize it's still a rebrand, but just the verbiage of it, that's those switch up of words, open that person's eyes to say, no, I do need to refresh, or no, I do need to rebrand.
Yeah. I mean, it gives a different outlook.
So when in life, right, because and that's in the business world, but when you're in life and you're going through things in life, where do you stop and put a pin in it and say, wait a minute, do I need to refresh my life? Where does that drop in on you at?
I think it goes back into, I'm gonna try to give a twofold answer because I want to give an answer for the person that's okay with being stuck, but I also want to give an answer for the go-getter, the thriver, the mover and shaker. I think for our kind of people, the mover, shaker, thriver, the people that just got to do something, I think for us it comes, and I don't always want to speak for everybody, I think for me it comes at a point to where when you can't push through your boredom, in a sense, and when I say push through, I mean when your boredom with not you're just bored overall. I'm saying your boredom with what you're doing. So if when you're getting to a point to where you know how to do the job so efficiently that a 30-minute video, I can edit it in 5, and I'm just kicking out 30-minute videos in 5 minutes. I'm doing 20, 30 of them a day because I just know my flow is great. At some point, you got to look at yourself and say, hold on. I can maximize this time a little more.
Yeah.
Because now instead of me doing the 30-minute videos in 5 minutes, let me do 5 30-minute videos, or let me do 35-minute videos.
Mm-hmm. Switch it up a little bit.
Switch again, not rebranding, not changing your business model, any of that.
Same thing.
It's just changing what you can do. Because again, if you're already doing 5 30-minute videos, what's 35-minute videos?
Nothing.
And then again, now you give yourself, with what you're already doing, a different business model. Because now, what you were doing before, you could charge more now.
Yeah.
This 30-minute video that you're doing, you can charge somebody for 15 videos. And now with those 15, because again, just because your workflow is efficient, if you're doing 30-minute videos in 5 minutes, that means you're doing 5-minute videos in no time.
No time. That means you looking at a
5-minute video, you putting it in, you're like, okay, I got that.
And then you kicking it out.
You should be done with that in 2 minutes. Once you upload it, you done.
You done. That's it.
So it comes to for the mover and shaker, when you become complacent, when you become fine with just being fine, that's when you reinvent. That's when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, is this okay, or can I do more? Is this okay, or can I do it better? Is this okay, or can I be better?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then to the person that's okay with being okay, to know that okay is not okay is when you're sitting around, literally just sitting around.
Yeah.
When you're in a mode to where you wake up, you go to work, you come home. When you come home, there's absolutely nothing to do, not because you structured your life to be that way.
That's just the way.
But because you actually have absolutely nothing to do.
That's
you need to reinvent yourself.
That's a problem.
Watch this. If you're doing all that and also ain't got nobody as a life partner, as a friend, as a guide, a wife, a fiance, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, it's time to look at yourself and say, is there something wrong with me? Because you can oftentimes get, and this is beyond just your reinventing and re-navigating life, this is just for your relationships.
Yes.
You can oftentimes get, as a single person, you can sit there and say, oh, nah, you got to accept me for me. And if you don't accept me for me, then I don't need to be with you.
That's one of the dumbest things a single person can say, because you've been single for how long? And you still around here telling people you're going to have to accept me for me. And if you don't, then that's just what it is. That's why you're single.
Listen, man.
There's a change that needs to come somewhere in your life, something in what you're doing, because you're still single telling people the same old, if you can't take me for me, then don't take me at all. I won't take you.
Listen, I think if people, single people, can oftentimes get past that, in order to change, you got to be willing to change.
Yes, 100%.
In order to be happy, you got to be willing to change something. In order to be successful, you got to be willing to change something. Of course, success is like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. What is success to some may not be success to others. But there is like a fine line between, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, there's a fine line between like success and doing good in life.
I think a lot of times that fine line becomes a blurred line because sometimes people are doing so good in life to where they deem it as successful, not even realizing that they're not quite that quote unquote success story or that successfulness that they think they in. Because like you said, it's a fine line that a lot of times people blur that line and they're like, I'm doing good. This is getting done. This is done. Bookings are coming in. Bills are paid. Family's happy. I'm good. I'm successful.
And I think, and this is again, just speaking for me, I got to that at a place, not recently, a couple years ago. I got to that in a sense to where bookings are coming in. I got my job. I got this. I got that. I wouldn't say I was successful, but I was doing okay in life.
Yeah.
But to me, I was successful. Again, not to outwardly say I was being successful, but again, to see where other people my age were.
Yeah.
We oftentimes go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram,
X,
Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. We oftentimes go on these sites and we see the picture of what we deem as successful people want us to see.
Yes. It's definitely pushed on us what success is.
And because of the narrative that this is what success is, because that narrative is always pushed forward, even though the line between I'm doing good in life and I'm successful gets blurred, it's oftentimes that people will never feel successful and not even feel that they're doing good in life because they see people at their age group, multiple people at that, at their age group that are making millions on millions or have millions on millions of followers, to now they think I may actually not be doing something right. Because think about it this way. I'm 26, you're 27. Just turned 27.
Big birthday.
27 in December. Whoop, whoop. There are approximately, off the top of my head, I can probably give you 50 NFL players.
That are younger than us.
Not even. That are 27 or 26 that are making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So again, to just look at our age bracket, bump the people under us, just looking at our age bracket, if I can already give you 50 people, I'm only cool with only 10 people, not 10 of the 50, just 10 people in life. Mm-hmm. If I'm only cool with 15 to 20, 30 people in life, and I can name 50 other people that aren't a part of that 30 people I know that are making millions or have millions of followers, which in turn is generating more money for them, what should I think of myself?
I mean, for me, I know I don't discredit the ones that are under us because that, for me, is like, damn, they doing it at that age. I got to look at my life and think about what I can do to better improve, or because if people that are in their 30s are looking at those in their 20s and they like, well, damn, I wasn't doing that in my 20s. That should be motivating that person to say, well, I need to get up and do something, or I need to change something. I need to rearrange something, because I'm looking at the people that's in my age category. I'm looking at the people under me. And when all of this around me is pointing to they making money, they got more followers, they got more success, or this is their success, then it flips that switch in your head of like, what am I doing wrong?
But is it ever too late?
I honestly, I'm a firm believer. I don't believe so.
Okay.
I honestly do not believe it's ever too late to go after your dream, to go after it, right? But this is the kicker. It has to make sense, right? When you
can't be,
say it, because I'm probably gonna tell a joke in it, so I know you got one, because it's like you can't be. What you about to say? Because I can think of so many of them.
You can't be 65 looking at a 20-year-old saying I could look like that.
No, because you can't. You can look the best 65. You can go find a group of other 65-year-olds and say, oh, I can look better than all of them. Or go find the best 65-year-old. But don't be, it's those things where it's like, yeah, you ain't going to be able to get there, grandma. But in some cases in life, when you're going after certain jobs, or you're going after, like even us right now starting this podcast, some will look at us and say, man, podcast so 2020, so 2021, what y'all doing? But that's their mindset on it, because they might have hit their plateau. They might have hit their mark, or they might not have had the motivation or the drive, or they might not have had the willpower to want to continue,
knowledge.
Or the knowledge.
Because that's the...
And we said that a lot.
That's the main thing.
That sets us apart from...
the knowledge.
Yes.
And it is not even just us. It's just people in general. A lot of people don't have the knowledge in order to...
Well, I say us because for us, having a media business and then starting a podcast was like, well, that's easy. A lot of people that started a podcast in 2020, 2021, they had to go on YouTube, look up what mics to get, what cameras to get, what this, what that, what that. For us, it was just like, we just need to have our structure in place. Some people don't need to have that.
I mean, but beyond the structure, you got to have the knowledge to have the structure.
Yeah.
And again, that a lot of people just don't have knowledge. That a lot of people aren't smart enough to realize that they plateaued. A lot of people aren't smart enough to realize that maybe I just don't have the drive no more.
Is it sometimes smartness or not wanting to accept?
Well, that's I think it still goes into your knowledge, because at that point then you're just ignorant.
Okay.
But in the ignorance, the true definition of ignorance is the lack of understanding something. Mm-hmm. In order to have knowledge of something, you have to understand it. Mm-hmm. So if you're continuing to just go out there, shoot the video, bring it back, edit it, put it out there. Go out there, shoot the video, bring it back, edit it, put out there. Whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a videographer, go out there, shoot the shoot, cut, bring back, edit it, put it out there, and you're not changing anything within that, your ignorance is bliss. Somewhere in there, you gotta do something to change. If the iPhone stayed at the iPhone 2, the iPhone would never be where the iPhone is today.
No, they would never be.
I gotta write that down. That was good.
They would never be.
I'll remember that one for later. That's a good one. That's gonna be that right there is gonna be a reel. That's a good one. Cause it's true.
You gotta say it again. I don't.
Even Samsung, if they never made another generation of their phone, they would never have the success that they have to this day. If Apple never pushed past the iPod to create the iPhone, it wouldn't have the success that it does today.
I mean, even expanding the Mac into an iPad and then to laptops. Like, I mean, you don't know until you try. A lot of times in life, that's really what it is. Going back to the question of, is it ever too late? Sometimes you don't know until you try. So you sitting here wondering, is it too late? Can it work? Will it work? Try it. You have to sometimes just try that thing to figure out if it's going to work. Could be the next Apple, the next Samsung, the next LG. It's so many competitors out there that did not know they had the ability to do what they were doing until they put out the first. When you look at all these, I mean, it goes down all the way into the music scene. When you look at festivals and concerts like Rolling Loud and Coachella, it wasn't anything until the first Coachella, until the first Rolling Out. Now it's an annual thing to, okay, wait, this is a Rolling Louds all over the country, all over the world. But it started out as one festival, one city. Let's see if it can work.
One try.
One try is all it takes. Take you back to your church days, man. What they say, one touch is all it takes.
Wow. So when you
how do you feel about AI tools for businesses? AI is one of those things that have really came into our generation and made a name for itself. I mean, from ChatGPT to so many different other AI platforms. How do you feel about that in a business world?
It's helpful, but also crutchy. Like it puts a lot of people, a lot of businesses, in a point to where, because I know I have this, I really don't gotta work.
That's true.
Like, let's take coming up with anything like
An Excel sheet or PowerPoint.
you tell ChatGPT to do it, it'll do it. As long as you pay $20 a month.
Mm-hmm. And so many people, whether it's the business or the individual that's working for a particular business, they'll pay the $20 a month because it makes their 40, 60, sometimes 70 hours a week 10 times more easier just by being able to use a ChatGPT feature.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's one of those things to where as years go on, as things begin to progress, as AI kind of begins to evolve, companies are going to rely on that more than actually hiring a person?
No, because it's not personable.
Are those features that are that we ever going to see implemented or changed in any way? Because some companies might just put up with the quote unquote not being personable and be like, well, it's an AI generation. Everybody know they talking AI.
Yeah, but
are we going to get there? How about that? Are we going to get to the point to where the personable side don't matter? It's 2020. This everybody know it's AI.
No.
Okay.
Because
it's always going to need to be that personable feel.
There's still industries in which you have to be personable. Like you can't AI generate somebody that can do a universal ride operation.
Mm-hmm. True.
Like you can't AI generate the person that does the announcements for. Honestly, you can't AI generate the news.
No.
Like you can't like
so like
those
newscasts, like news people, newsmen, and all that will
you can't you can AI generate you can generate the script, but you can't AI generate the person that comes on the screen.
The delivery of it.
It's going to be hard to, because again, like even as advanced as AI will be, there's still certain inflections and certain ways that people can say things that can persuade emotion. There's ways that people can edit things that push an emotion, that push a different narrative than when you put it into a computer. Because again, computers will never understand human emotion.
No matter how much you feed it, no matter what you push through your platforms or through the different softwares, it's just those emotions are just never going to be understood or being able to be explained from a AI aspect. 100%. Jumping back to sports real quick, I meant to ask this question. Out of all the leagues that are currently playing, because right now we don't have NFL, so out of NBA, WNBA, and MLB, what's the most exciting league right now?
I have to say, I mean, only one that kind of would make sense would be the NBA, being that MLB and WNBA just started. We're only a month in to the MLB, month and a half.
Any shocks, any surprises in this first month in, or is everything looking like win-loss records? Anything shocking there?
I think the only shocker was how the Rays started off the season.
Okay, especially considering they don't have a home.
Yeah, that was kind of the only shocker in my opinion. They lost their first, I think it was 7-8 games.
That's tough. You come out losing like that, man. You might as well go ahead and begin to automatically chop the season up.
So I mean,
MLB is such a long season, but still, man, that's a lot of losses.
Yeah.
Straight out, like I think the straight out is one thing.
Bro, it might have even been like 10, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. So I mean, that was probably like the only shocker, in my opinion, MLB wise. NBA, Ja getting swept would be the shocker.
So the Lakers out of the first round, that's not a total shocker.
No.
All in all, that was something that we saw.
I wouldn't say that we saw, but I mean,
to be expected. Like, what's the mindset?
We haven't seen any success from the Lakers as LeBron has been there, except for the NBA championship and when they went to the Western Conference Finals. So other than that, I mean, you've been out of playoffs, play in. Like, it wasn't really a big, hoopla kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers, man. Y'all had a huge mid-season trade, all of that. If anybody expected them to go to the finals, you're obviously on heroin.
Heroin.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Can we ever expect this Lakers roster to go to the finals?
No.
Damn.
No.
Damn. So it might be time for them to refresh, rebuild.
Yeah. I heard something from Rob Pelinka. He said he knows that LeBron is expecting something big, and in order to satisfy him, to keep him here, they are going into this next season like big changes, big difference, like all kind of, because I mean LeBron got 2, maybe 3 seasons left in him.
That's it.
And then after the injury he just sustained from this last game, he maybe got 1 season left in him.
I about to say that 2-3 might be 1-2.
He got one little world tour, about to hop around the U.S. and get up out of here, bro.
So that mean we should be seeing the Lakers go after a big name in the offseason. Giannis is going to be out there in free agency. It's going to be some names out there. Could we see a Giannis, LeBron, and Luka? Is that even realistic?
No. Not at all. Honestly.
Trae Young?
Yes and no. I don't think Trae Young and Luka would get along together on the court.
Yeah, I was thinking that
they both need the ball too.
I about to say their personalities,
we've
big personalities.
We've seen what happens when a person needs the ball too much in LA between LeBron, AD, and Russ.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be like the big three that was going to take over the West, and they were supposed to win multiple championships. And now AD is in Cancun and Russ getting ready for Game 1 against OKC soon. So everybody's in a different place than where they were supposed to be a few years ago when they put that Russ AD and LeBron, I thought that was, I mean, it looked good on paper. Sounded good, rather.
Looked great on paper, but
Them boys got out
they
there.
were paper.
I was.
They were paper.
Hey, tissue paper soft?
That bit was buns. I'm a Magic fan though. I don't talk about people teams, so I don't know, man. It's pretty different. Like this league is different. It's a different league from when we grew up.
Yeah, the league's definitely. I mean, we're starting to see the last of our era of basketball. The LeBron, the Steph, the ADs. I mean, these boys all on. Within the next 5 years, all of them will be out the league.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you can put it on, like, if you got a 10-year goal, in the next 5 years, LeBron, all of them boys will be, we're talking about a completely different basketball. Now, did you see that the draft this year for the NBA is the lowest number of draftees within the last decade? It's like 109 draftees going into the draft compared to 2020. It was 300 plus. NIL. They're saying the NIL deals, the NIL. So since NIL got approved and has been a thing of college players, NCAA, we have seen a decline in draftees going into the NBA. People they rather stay in college, make money in college, and either finish.
I mean, so does
win
that
for
mean
their school or. So
does that mean the NBA has a higher retention rate now? Like,
I think it's more college has the higher retention rate. Because I think the whole goal
but you could say that, but at the same time, colleges don't have a high retention rate because these players are literally going from team to team to team to team.
yes,
to team.
exactly. So it's more, so maybe not so much college, maybe more NCAA. I think they're starting to retain more of their star players in NCAA basketball, NCAA football by being able to say, hey, you can leave. I mean, when you look at the Georgia football player, you can leave Georgia and come to Miami and we'll pay you more. Because he could have easily went into the draft this year. But would he have been like Shador Sanders to where you go into the draft and you're making a lot less money in NFL than what you would have been making in college football?
I mean, realistically, as a college player,
Like, yeah, it hasn't been too many tonight.
as a college player, you know the name of the game is sponsorships and endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you're getting paid as an NIL sportsman or sportswoman.
Yeah.
So if you know that that's the name of the game, why is college keeping you from going to the next level? Because as you can see, in order to get more money, all you have to do is accept more endorsements or accept more contracts or perform at a higher level in order to get those. So if all it takes is that to get to the 7 million, 8 million, 9 million that you're making in college, I kind of don't see the correlation. Because again, what you're doing in college, you can do in the league. I guess what I'm thinking is a lot of these kids know that they're not good enough to make it to the league, which is why they're staying.
Yeah, I think again that fear of some of them are making life-changing money in college. So they're like, I'm making life-changing money in college. I might not even make it to the pros. I mean, especially when you look at the NBA, I mean, it's like I might not even make it on a team. I might be a G League player making average money a year, or I can stay in college and ride my college wave, because a lot of them just are college wave players to where it's like they can ride 4 years in college and be a millionaire, and then they be straight. So if you were a college player playing sports, what would you do? If you were top of your class and your school's like, hey, listen, we want you to stay. We need a natty. But you're projected to go top 10. Projected. Now, these are projections. Just like Shador, you're projected to go top 10, but the school's guaranteeing you money. What are you going to do?
I'm getting out of there.
You getting out of there?
Why,
I'm getting out of there.
I'm
getting the hell out of there.
Why, as a grown-ass man, are you fine with just being around little-ass kids all your life?
Bro, because that's what it's becoming. Some of these college players are our age. Chris, I could not imagine being amongst 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds all day long. And some of these college players are literally our age.
Kids on the team calling you unk and shit, like,
yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm good, bro.
Josh Allen and Miami's quarterback is the same age. Carson is his name. Josh Allen and Carson are the same age.
No fucking way.
Yeah. Same age, year apart. They're same category. Carson is old.
Carson Beck and Josh Allen?
Yeah, how old Josh Allen?
No. Josh Allen's 28, man.
Okay. It's a quarterback that's in the league that Carson Beck is the same age as.
Oh, yeah. For one, he's older than Jaden Daniels.
Yes. Jaden Daniels for sure.
He's older than Jaden Daniels.
Caleb Williams.
He's older than. He's about the same age as Josh Daniels. No, not Josh Daniels. What's the boy name? Old Giants quarterback.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
That's
Josh
who it is.
Daniel Jones.
That's who it is. Daniel Jones.
Dang.
Yes.
Man.
And you still playing college. So by the time he goes into the NFL, he's going to be 24, 25.
And at that point, you're too. Oh, and that's what they're not thinking about, bro. Once you get drafted into the league, bro, Gilbert Arenas made the perfect point, bro.
I remember that
When
conversation.
you get into the league, they're not looking, well, after year one, they're not looking at you as rookie, sophomore, junior, senior. No, Negro. They're looking at you at your age bracket.
Like, how old are you?
At the age of 24, how are you compared to other 24-year-olds playing your position?
They're not looking at you as, oh, this is a 24-year-old on his second year or on his first year.
You about to get into the league at 25, 26 years old.
Jane Daniels going to be on his third year.
Come on, bro.
Younger than you.
Jalen Hurts going to be on his sixth year at the same age as you. Well, not six. He came in 2020,
so
4, 5.
five.
He going to be on his fifth year, bro.
Same age as you.
Same age as you, 25, 26, bro.
Two championships at this point. 3. We're going first team now. So, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking like what NIL has really came in and redefined NCAA because these players are like, hey, listen, man, I'm just gonna keep making this money.
But and again, it just be like for why though? Like, yeah, the money is one thing, but for you to have played this sport or have dedicated your life to this sport, whatever sport it may be,
basketball, football, baseball, whatever,
you gotta want to be at the next level.
That's what you would think, and I thought that was always the point of
because that's what you grew up saying.
Exactly, right? That's literally what I'm like, I thought that was the point of playing
as a
sport.
basketball player. You shooting your shot. Oh, Kobe. Oh, Steph. You don't want to be in the league that.
I mean, some of them are like
you throwing the ball, Mike Vick. Ooh, you running your routes, calling Shady McCoy name, throwing the ball, calling Cam Newton like.
Nah. Now
Tom
it's
Brady.
Now it Randy Moss, all that.
Moss.
Yeah.
Like
now it's I can stay in college and keep, taking care of my family and I'll be all right. Still get a college education cuz it's also that some of them go their full 4 years, get their degree and then say, "Hey, I'm going to go into the league."
Them boys don't care about no degrees, man. The ones that's really trying to play this game, them boys don't care about no degree.
I mean, some of them are now starting to realize more than ever that you might need to have a second option in case your first option, whether it be football, basketball, don't work.
These niggas be getting degrees in general communication.
They be getting degrees in the most basic whatever, just to say, hey, listen, man, I can, But some of them go out there and get like a sports medicine degree or something, that might be a little more related. But for the most part, it's like the most generic, get me through. I just need it.
Business administration, business management.
Business management is a big.
Everybody got that degree. Everybody got a doggone business management.
Business management is just like
everybody got a business.
Everybody
management
want
degree,
that one.
I don't, but everybody.
When I used to screen applications, the amount of business, I'm like, bro, you business management, but you're applying for a $14 an hour job.
Business management or business administration, those are degrees, bro.
Yeah,
degrees. You can get that degree anywhere, whether it's an accredited college or not. You can get that degree anywhere.
Yeah, right here at your local community college here in Orlando, Valencia. You can go anywhere and get you a nice little business.
Whoa. That is not a community college.
They're not community anymore?
Hell, man, Valencia been not a community college.
Shit, you still...
They been not VCC.
Still...
It says Valencia College.
I grew up in Carver Shores, man. I passed Valencia every day going to school. The Chain of Lakes and Dr. Phillips. It still College, felt like a community. I know that I
VC?
did. So this must have happened recently when they... like a mascot or something now. I can't remember what their mascot is, but they had like a mascot.
Valencia has a mascot.
Mm-hmm. Swear to God, this is when I was still staying over there on that side of town. So this was a couple years ago that I saw they had a big mascot. I can't remember what it is.
Probably
they got a
some
mascot.
kind of bird.
No, it's a tiger. It's some type of like wild. Look it up. Look it up. Talk to the people.
Valencia College has a mascot. That is some kind of primate.
Puma.
Is that what you're saying? A puma?
It's a puma. It's a puma. Valencia College mascot is a puma. Percy the Puma.
Percy the VC Puma. Correct yourself. Percy the VC Puma.
Excuse me, Percy the VC Puma. The Valencia College mascot can be available for appearances.
Let's get him on the show.
Valencia College, if you're watching this, let us come down to the school, bring our setup, and we want VC on the show.
Let's get him on, man. You think he'll talk, or he's...
Nah, they'll probably have to bring an interpreter for him.
You just gonna sit there the whole time?
Yeah, they like to talk in sign language.
Let's try to get stuff, man. Let's try to get stuff on it, bit.
Now, that can go two ways. You can get stuff, or we can get stuff the man himself, and people don't know it's stuff the man himself.
No, I'm gonna tell everybody it's stuff the man himself, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
So,
does he mind that though? Does he not?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so he don't want people to know that.
No.
Okay, then so we couldn't. I mean, we could, but we couldn't.
Let's try to get stuff. Nitro. We can try to get Nitro.
Okay, now just remind me, are we talking about the mascots or we're talking about the person?
No, the mascots.
But they're not gonna do any talking with us. So what?
Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs mascot talks.
Okay.
And the Celtics mascot talks.
I didn't know that. Swear to God, I didn't know that. Kansas City, I knew. Did not know the Boston. Okay.
I mean, it's a dude.
The Boston Celtics. Okay.
Yeah, their mascot is literally a person.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a mascot.
Yeah. It's a person walking around like a leprechaun outfit. I wouldn't say leprechaun, but like a Celtic outfit, I would say.
Okay.
I guess he got like little overalls and he be dunking and stuff, like everything, bro.
Definitely get stuff, man. We go down to the practice gym, man, and stuff can do some stuff on the camera for the people.
Who else could we get?
He's not gonna do no talking.
Bernie. Let's try to get Bernie.
Osceola, right? That's what we talking about.
Nigga, that's your mascot.
Oh, there's a lot of tequila in there. Bernie's not gonna talk.
Did you say Ossie? That's swoosh. Bernie is your mascot.
That's that tequila. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Forgot about that.
We got what else? The Pride mascot. No, the Orlando City soccer team. No, the women's soccer team is named the Pride. But the men's soccer team, they got a lion as the mascot. We can get him on.
The lion, yes.
I don't know what his name is. It's probably like Felix or something like that, but let's get him on.
Bernie not going. Bernie tall as hell. Bernie like 11, 12 feet tall. Like his head part. He'd be pretty tall.
So we have to stand up to talk to Bernie.
Yeah. All of these are going to have to be done in open gyms.
Okay.
Who else? We got to let the people tell us who they want to see on here.
Yeah, man. Hello, audience.
We want to know who y'all want to see on
We've
here.
been going for an hour, man, and ain't nobody said nothing to us today.
Yeah, they obviously don't like us. Nobody. Not a person. That's crazy.
Shit.
I know they've been watching because we can see people. We can see the amount of people that's came in and left and came in and nothing.
It's been one viewer for a long time.
We know who the concurrent viewer is.
But I think we should try to get anybody on here, man.
I mean, at this point,
I'm about to send an email to Bill Gates, bro.
Okay. I like that.
I just started sending emails to people.
Bill Gates.
Everybody. Bill Gates.
Try to get Shannon Sharp on here.
No. Shannon ain't going to do it. I'll send the email, though, but Shannon ain't going to do it.
Get Ocho on here. You can get Ocho.
Ocho will do it. I think Ocho will do it. Who else?
I love Gilly and Wallow.
Either or try to get to both. I'm about to chat GPT or email.
I would love both, but man, Gilly would be like
Gilly? Okay. I'm about to just start sending emails to these people, bro.
You send emails, I send the DMs.
I'm about to just start sending emails to the managers and all of this. Hey, come on our podcast. Just want to ask some questions. Talk to you about what.
I mean, we got enough episodes now to where, they'll be able to go and see that, we ain't going to do them dirty.
I will.
As long as your name ain't Shannon Sharp and,
No, I'm doing anybody dirty.
Big black man choking small white women.
I'm doing anybody dirty. If you come on here and I've seen anything about you in your life, I'm going to ask you about it.
Yep, that's everybody that we was going to send that email to. They're going to say no now with this clip out. They're going to be like, well, we're not going to be able to do that. You
want me to be honest, or I want them to know before they step foot into the Zoom room or whatever
you gotta
it is.
you got to just Shannon Sharp them.
They got to know, man.
Nah, you can't, because then they're going to say no. That's how Shannon Sharp get all his big interviews. He start them off, stroke the ego a little bit, just whatever they want. Then you just start hitting them with them questions. And
I'm not an ego stroker.
Well, you ain't got to show the ego, but you just got to ask them questions that they will answer about their albums or about whatever they may want to talk about. And then within that, you get to what we really here for.
My first question is,
why
did you slap that girl? That's the first question.
Hell no. They not coming. They're not coming, bro.
He's going to hang up and leave.
Yeah, they're not coming. No, with this out here now live, they're watching this. They're like, what the hell?
This is what we're here for. I'm trying to get to the truth. I want to get to the bottom of it all.
There's more than one way to skin the cat. So we'll get to the truth, but you got to get them here first. And then once they're here, you get the truth out of them. If you tell somebody straight up, they're going to say no.
See, that's a lie then. I don't want to give you any false pretenses.
That's not a lie. Where's
I
the
want
lie?
I want you to know straight up what my goal is. They say anything that's far from the truth. They say anything that's a little bit from the truth is a lie. My truth is, I'm trying to get the tea.
I get that, but in our world, you ain't gonna get them by coming out and just saying that. You got to master.
We gotta try it first.
Nobody wants to sit down if they hear you about to air their business out before they even get there. They're gonna be like, why would I say yes?
Bro, what we said about Coachella, Rolling Loud, you got to try it first. If we put it out there and then we get nose,
some methods are tried and true. That method of, hey, listen, come on my show, I'm gonna ask you everything, nothing's off rip. They're gonna be like, I'm not coming because I don't want to talk about this, and this.
No. Yeah, I didn't say I was gonna put that in the email. I'm saying now that's the goal. The email is gonna consist of, hey, we.
But then when
find you
they
to be
send over
great
there,
fans
like,
and-
hey, what question? Because some people want to know, like, hey, what am I going into? What questions do you guys have for me?
what's off
This is
limits?
what's
That's
off-
all I'm gonna say. What's off limits?
And
And
then
if you say nothing
all your
off limits,
tea,
then nothing off limits.
all your tea that we will be trying to go and get, they're gonna be like, oh no, we're not. That's off limits.
Well, hang up, because I'm asking. First, I'm asking. I don't care. I'm asking.
But don't let it be the first question.
It'll be the second. Because I'm asking. So the people want to know.
That is not how you do that.
Ah!
Jesus Christ.
So the people want to know.
That ain't going.
Are you going to tell them? No. Okay, next question. Next question is, are you sure you won't tell the people?
Yeah, they're not coming. They're not coming. They're going to be like, hey, I already know you guys. I know how you guys get down on DK podcast. I'm not down for that. I can't come.
And if you ain't down for it, we got 2 words for you.
I hope my 2 words are your 2 words.
Suck it.
Okay.
D-Generation X, man. I don't care about that. If you can't accept the fact that open, honest, candid conversations, realistically, ain't nothing off limits here. So if you can't accept that, this ain't the show for you, baby. You don't need to be coming on the DK podcast. I don't care what profession you're in.
Yeah, if you can't come and be real when we're being real, it's pretty insane to think that we want you here on the podcast. Because the whole point of it would be for you to come here and be yourself and give people what they want. And if you're not doing that, then what you doing?
Okay. So again, my first question gonna be about that tea.
It's not going to be maybe like the second. The first question is normally the one that you get them to. Like when you look at Bow Wow's interview that he just did. They got him to answer the question about Orlando Brown saying they had homosexual activities together before. That Bow Wow had never said that. It wasn't until he sat down with Shannon Sharp for 2+ hours, and then about an hour in, Shannon was like, "Hey."
Yeah, no, I ain't got that kind of timing.
And for me, that would have been like top 3 questions. Like, hey, bro, Orlando Brown says y'all slept together. You got to clear that up.
Exactly.
Like, how you sit down with this man for an hour and 15 minutes knowing that this question in the back of your head?
And again, you going into it with false pretenses. Because I'm not, if I know that's what I'm trying to get down for this interview with, but I'm not going to be talking to you about how you grew up and what Michael Jordan said to you when you was chilling with his son. I don't care about that.
All that.
I need to know.
All that Michael Jordan threw the Allen Iversons away. I need to know.
Come on, bro. I'm not.
Did you and Orlando Brown do what he is telling everybody y'all did?
The liquor get you loose like a goose, man. And I'm just being honest with you. This show ain't for the fluff.
No.
And I'm saying it now. Maybe we're cutting ties with people who we don't know already. Who cares? If you're a celebrity, if you're an influencer, if you're a podcaster, if you're any of these things, if you're coming on here, you got to give the hard takes. You got to give the dirty tape. You got to be honest because, again,
It say it right here.
Candid.
It does say candid interviews.
Me speaking candidly with people, I talk about everything.
Yeah.
If I know your tea, I'm going to bring it up. Hey, bro, so I heard.
I mean, that's always twofold. You just always have to be ready for people to do the same to you.
Yeah. And me, I live my life. You ain't going to never know.
So, I mean, those are always like the little deciding factors. Is like what you dish out. Sometimes you got to always be ready to take.
And if you ain't ready to take it, that's on you.
But again, I don't think we would be inviting anybody that I speak for both of us on this one. Ain't shit scaring us that come sit down and talk to us. You sit down and talk to us is because you know what you getting into.
You got to know. You can't come sit down here and say I ain't never. Yeah, man. I ain't never watched an episode. Y'all invited me, so I wanted to come.
That's stupid.
That's stupid.
That's
of
stupid.
you.
That's on you.
That is very dumb of you.
Dummy.
If you come and sit here and say I ain't never watched the episode, and don't do that.
That's crazy. That would be crazy work.
Oh no, I would deliver the question as a comedic relief standpoint.
I mean, and that's what I would. That's the point. It's like it's all in the delivery. I mean, you can get any answer you want as long as it's proposed and phrased the right way.
Yeah, I mean, what do I always preach? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I say that all the time to everybody, anybody, on everything. It's never what you say. Because in my opinion, what you say, whether it be curse words, whether it be whatever, like that's how you feel. So I never tell you to say what you feel. It's just how you say what you feel.
Shit, don't come cussing at me. I ain't gonna say anything loud to you.
Like I never tell nobody not to say what you feel. It's how you say what you feel that's the problem. And that's how I'm gonna propose these questions.
I gotta be honest with y'all. It is 7:12. I have not eaten all day long. My stomach is in my back.
I'm telling you, bro. It's how you say it.
My stomach is in my back. Listen, y'all. It's been a good episode. If I do say so myself, I say we touched on every single thing that we needed to. What you think we missed?
None.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. One more time. I meant to say that at the top of the episode, but I was already sipping on mine. So I hope everybody's sipping on theirs, enjoying their week. What we dropping for them this week? Are we dropping something for them on Wednesday? Do they want to see some on Wednesday?
Let's see what God say.
We're going to see what the Lord say.
Yeah. We'll pray on it. See what God say.
Ain't going to fast on it, but we'll pray on it.
Yeah. We'll if not Wednesday, the dad revenging his son. Oh my God! Somebody dad killed somebody because somebody killed their son. What's going on here?
I'm not privy to what that.
JT getting out of jail?
Well, see those are for that's Friday's episode. Today was more of that. That's Friday's recap.
JT getting out. Oh man. Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about Friday.
So I mean, now you dropping us topics for Friday.
Killed a cop. What?
Okay. So now we know what we need to look up and get ready for on Friday. Did that happen here in Florida? What did that happen at?
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I did see before we went live, Justin Tucker got released from the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens are saying it's because of the roster limit, but as we all know, Justin Tucker had some allegations come out last season about him and some women over there in Baltimore. So I'm led to believe with Baltimore's history that it's probably something to do with that, but they're using the roster head count as the real reason. Justin Tucker is one of the best kickers in pro football, but those allegations that came out last year was pretty damning to his career.
Hell, Deshaun Watson still kicking. And
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. Deshaun Watson's still around.
He stared him down in the first quarter appearance. Oof.
Yeah, I ain't see that one.
Yeah, we'll bring that one on Friday. I got to do my.
Yeah, we'll bring that one on Friday. JT being released. Diddy trial started. They picked the juror selection today. So all that's gonna be dropped on Friday. So Friday episode, you already know what to come into. Your weekly updates with everything that's going on in entertainment, sports news. By Friday, we would be like game 3 or 4 in the semis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we might even see a sweep. Think we're gonna see a sweep? We can call it. We can call it now. No sweeps?
No.
Okay. What we looking at? All game 6, 7s, any 5s? What we looking at?
I'd probably say some 5, 6s.
We got some 7s in the first round, so you got to think that we're gonna get a 7 or something in the second round.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
New York and Boston, as mentioned, should definitely go 7. I want to know that happened in Florida. The dad revenging his son. Nah, we didn't see that. I'm trying to wait to see what he about to say.
Well, guys, been a great episode. God loves you. Don't give up on God because he won't give up on you. Like, follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. This has been the DK Podcast. We out here, man.